Well, hello and welcome to another short live stream session at Russell's Computer Service. So, basically, not really a lot of interesting stuff that went on today, but it was kind of interesting watching the live stream of Dr. Ronald Howard Brown. And basically, it's been an interesting series of watching, because all the stuff about COVID-19, hopefully most of you out there know that it's not real. It's not, there are people that are dying, but it's not all related to COVID-19. It's basically, there's a lot of controversy in that, but most of the stuff is kind of, well, how do you put that? Most of the stuff on YouTube is fake, as far as the videos telling you to stay home. And I told you this yesterday, but just in case there's new people in the stream that have never seen a video before. So it was another beautiful day here in Wisconsin. Next major project I'm thinking about undertaking here is getting a coax system set up. I started in January. I think the second week of January, I purchased a different outside antenna. I already got that mounted. I got the cable. Here's the original cable from the other antenna. But this antenna does not have a rotor on it. It's another cheapy one, but it works because I'm going to do the TV displays. Again, I'm going to try to sell some. So that's part of the plans. So I just have to make up a cable block. And I kind of have an idea how I'm going to do that already. I'm thinking if I buy an amplified power booster, I should theoretically be able to, because some of the stuff I was doing here I put on hold for now because either I can't get certain materials because some of the stores that I used to go to were closed because of COVID. And if I don't have to order it online, I won't. So that's a lot of stuff I used to get from Milwaukee PC. Sure, the prices were marked up by 5%, but you got to think for a minute. Basically, they got to make a living off of the establishment, and to scrape even on items or not make any money off of a sale, then what's the point of running a store if you don't make any money off of what you're doing? What sense does it have to run a store but not make any money off of it? Here, I don't have hundreds and millions of dollars wrapped into this place, so I can afford to do the things that I'm doing right now. Well, actually, not really, but I don't have a lot of major overhead when it comes to. I do have some overhead payments on stuff and stuff like that, but I think everybody's got bills, paying payments, and get vehicles paid off, and houses and stuff like that. But, well, enough of that topic. We'll kind of get back to. So I'm possibly thinking, because once I get my terminal box built up over in the corner there, because I got a power strip there ready, so I can just plug in a terminal box there and create a amplified, and then the channeling that I have running across the ceiling. Well, I said this in an earlier videos. I would buy from Menards, because what I like about the channeling from Menards is compared to Lowe's is with. Actually, I got a piece here. Why don't I get it real quick and I'll kind of show you what. So this is basically what I use across the ceiling. What I like about it is you can. Well, I might have to take the plastic wrap off of it first before I can even open it to demonstrate, but that I can definitely do. Well, or not. We're gonna use this at some point anyway, or some point in time. I bought this for doing the coaxial. Unfortunately, they're kind of expensive. They're about $18 a piece, just about, for channeling like this. But what I like, it's an overkill, I admit, but what I like about it is that once you have it installed, you can open it up at any time, remove any wires, add wires. This is also paintable, so I can paint. You can paint these to match your wall color, and the paint will stick on there. You don't need to sand it beforehand. So, well, that's good enough for now. Just strictly to demonstrate. And then you also got a sticky back tape on there. But I don't advise. You always want to take a level first to make sure that you got it perfectly even. And if you're going around corners, or you got walls that stick out in awkward places, figure that out ahead of time so you can cut these. Usually what I do when I pre-cut these, I use a jigsaw. I got a old Sears Craftsman jigsaw I use, or I guess you could say it's, some people call them saber saws, some call them jigsaws. I call it a jigsaw. But that way you don't have to sit there for hours cutting. I'll just put that back. Yeah, we'll put it back in the hallway. Well, this was my building. I would personally, if I required this place, more than likely, I would rip everything down to the studs. Not only would I put all new electrical wiring in, I would also put new plumbing. I would put central air in here, or split, or those Mitsubishi split systems. And then all my data wiring, instead of running it on the outside of actually even the shelves would go too. I would gut everything out of here. And even upstairs, I'd remodel the upstairs. And in the back there, I would tear out the freezers. And in the basement, I would tear all of that out and redo it. But then all my coaxial cables, I would run inside the wall and put data jacks along different places here. I would probably make a wiring closet towards the back of the building for category 5 cabling, and then for the coaxial, I'd make a patch panel back there as well. I would not do telephone because I would most likely just have VoIP phones that ran off IP addresses. So, and then I would actually put insulation in the walls because the problem is it's cold in here in the wintertime. So it's definitely something you want to have, is plenty of insulation. You don't want it so that it's. And then I would put all new windows in here. Do away with the single pane windows and get rid of all these cheap Fleet Farm windows that were like $40 a piece. I don't know if these actually came from Fleet Farm, but they look like, these windows look exactly like the windows I have in my garage. And I'm not the one that put them in, or the previous person that had the place before me had put those in. But I don't care out there too much other than they're dirty, but I should, on the in between the glass and the storm. But that's something that I can't do something about. I'm not confident enough to tear the frame of the window apart and get on the inside of it and clean it, but we'll worry about the outside of it and see. It's a garage, it's not that big of a deal. So I may not even tear the window apart. I might just clean the window and that'll be about it. But that's another project for another Saturday or Sunday. So as far as lining up guests for the stream, I haven't gotten around to asking anybody yet. But I kind of get a hunch that computer season is kind of coming to a standstill, and motivational speaking is, I kind of get a hunch I'm supposed to change my tune and become a motivational speaker. I've never really did that before, but it could be an interesting opportunity. But eventually, I should settle down eventually and find a wife instead of doing what I do. But I wouldn't say I'm quite a wild person compared to what I used to be. But I'm sure everybody's got their wild days when they're younger. But basically, you come to a certain point in life and you gotta come to realization you gotta settle down and continue your family name for another generation, and it will come. It's just a matter of how much effort you put into a marriage or relationship. That's my only dilemma, is if I was to start a family, I would have to kind of change my ways a bit and not be so uptight and so strict, and let loose a little bit and not be so stern all the time. But it's just it's something that you eventually, the right time will come, and eventually you'll find your spouse or wife or girlfriend or you don't want to make a hasty decision when you're. Because I had a friend that it amazed me. He got a college education, but by talking to him, you wouldn't think that he'd ever go out and do anything quite that exciting. But other than he was dating somebody for a while, I was like 10 years older than he was. But in a way, I kind of got the hunch that he was basically looking for somebody to tell him what to do, somebody to be the dominant one, somebody to wear the pants around the house, if you know what I'm trying to get at. Not physically pair of pants style saying. What I'm trying to say is that they basically that his girlfriend ruled the roost, and he just did what he was told. So I, on the other hand, if I had a household and I was married, I'd be the boss of the house, and everybody else would just do what I want them to do. And when you're alone for a long time, you kind of you tend to get set in your ways, and you tend to have things your way. Just because the office here is like a little bit cluttered doesn't mean I would live like that at my house, or that I live like that at my house. I tend to be a little neater at home than I am at the office. So if I married somebody or had a girlfriend or that was messy, I don't think that would work too well. Now, the office, I'd be fine with it messy there, but at home, it's a little too much to deal with. But that's doesn't mean that you can't make a go of it. Or now, I was never really able to keep relationships very long, but that's usually when you tend to be on the quiet side. But you're probably most thinking, well, gee, you do a lot of talking on your streams. Well, streams are different than when you're on a live stream with people. You can't exactly stay silent the whole stream. You kind of got to come up with stuff to talk about and try to get the things and voice things out and talk things out. But when you're alone and you're not talking to anybody, you can be as silent as you want. But in a way, motivational speaking is probably not for me either. But it would be a good thing to embrace if you're trying to change from being antisocial to, let's say, a social butterfly. That could potentially help a person. But in a way, I would have to say the best motivational speaker would be like a Pentecostal minister or somebody from a charismatic church or Reformed church or newborn Christian. Or the problem with a lot of average people is that if you don't have any motivation yourself, and you're a motivational speaker and you sit there and try to motivate people and you don't have the confidence to do it yourself, you're not really going to be effective on anybody else. If you're not effective to yourself and you don't look out for your well-being, how are you going to be able to get other people to, or how are you going to be able to motivate other people if you can't even motivate yourself to do things? I don't quite have the problem of being unmotivated. Sometimes you get kind of disheartened with some of the things you're working on because you can't quite find out why it is that you're having technical difficulties. Not that you completely give up on it, but you just put it on the back burner for a while until you come up with a good cause on why you're having issues working out what it is that you're trying to get figured out. Or if you're looking for an item that you need for a project and it takes you 6 months to a year to find it, even though that your things are neat and tidy. That's the kind of dilemma I run into sometimes. You put things in the back burner for a later date just so you can get things figured out. And sometimes you struggle to you struggle sometimes just to get your bearings together, and it's like trying to use a tire changer on the back of a minivan and you're trying to do small rim or small tire rims and you end up bending the rims and breaking and wrecking them over trying to change tires on them. It doesn't work out the best sometimes. Sometimes I find myself taking the tire somewhere else where the person I take it to has a big machine that's a hydraulic air controlled machine where you just put the tire on there and it's got different options where it's got like a lip and mechanical system on there where it slides a bar underneath there and you can derail the tire, put a new air tube in, or if it's one of those where you use a bead or there's a special grease that you put around the inside rim and then before you put that tire on there you take an angle grinder and you rust off any surface rust off of. For being a tech junkie, I guess you could say I kind of got the jack of all trades. So I can do just about a little of anything. I can do a little drywall. I can do a little bit of flooring, painting. I can do a little bit of woodworking, a little bit of electrical. I haven't really tackled any plumbing projects yet, but eventually I'll do some, but not right now. And then there's other stuff I can do, but teach their own. And that's the exciting thing when you got your own house or you got your own property and you're good at doing a lot of do-it-yourself projects. It's kind of an accomplishment. You kind of just stand back once you're done and just look at and just admire the work you put into. But when you're doing your own house and that if you want it to look nice, you gotta do a top-notch quality job. You don't want to do a bang-up job on your home improvement projects. But it is what it is, and there's always room for improvement in any retrospect. If you got anxiety, you can always try new things. You go out, try to get over your fear of anxiety. Go to the bar, go to the club, go join a gym, go go out somewhere. Yeah, it's easy to give that advice out, but yet it's hard to follow your own advice at the same time. It's like you tell yourself, okay, I'm going to do this today. I'm going to try this. I'm going to make this a new thing. And sometimes you give up. But the thing is, you gotta, once you start something, you gotta stick with it. It's like school. You go and start college, start yourself a college education. You see it through. You don't drop out halfway through. Because sometimes kids have their parents pay for it, and a lot of times the kids they don't do very well because they figured, well, just sponge it off of mom and dad. And I think we'll take them to the cleaners and what to do. And sometimes there's kids out there that got that mentality. And there's some that their parents pay for everything. And I'm thinking, as long as they're not doing anything illegal or bad, or then I wouldn't get too concerned. But basically, with like social interaction, and there's a lot of guys out there that pass off as being queers, and but some of them are not all of them are queers, and not all of them are creepy and strange. There's just some that are incapable of normally socializing with a person. But basically, you gotta throw yourself out there. You gotta try new things. You gotta meet people. Can't live in a hermit shell. And you shouldn't even isolate yourself from family or your landlord or the landlord's family. Depends how close you are with land people. Now, I don't suggest going around acting like an arrogant, snot-nosed punk or anything like that, but there is potential to be a good person out there, serving the community, serving your country, serving God, or being, or doesn't matter what you do. You just have to try your best. And so I think on that note, I think we're going to end the stream. It's dragged out a lot longer than I wanted it to. So God bless everybody. Have a safe evening. Hope you all have a good Monday morning. And just stay positive. Life throws you lemon, you make lemonade. So we'll see you tomorrow then.